you understand the source of stress, you can overcome stress. One source of stress is the environment you're playing in. Maybe the gym's too cold, the gym's too hot, the crowd's going to be really noisy. Maybe the rims don't look and feel right. You don't like the backboards. The environment can cause stress. Second cause of stress is the uncontrollability of the game. You can't control other players. You can't control what your coach is going to do. You don't know what exact shot you're going to get. Everything is up in the air. That can cause stress. 3, it's unpredictable. You can't predict if you're going to play well, win or lose, make mistakes or not. So the unpredictability is something that causes stress in players. There's also the fear of the loss of something like reputation if you play bad, loss of scholarships, loss of your dreams and your goals. That can cause stress. A fear of injury, a fear of playing a physical team can cause stress. There are fear of mistakes and failures, of missing shots, making turnovers, and again, losing your future. There's the stress of maybe you have a high workload. The team you're playing does a lot of tricks and tactics, so you know mentally your basketball IQ is going to have to be high this game. Maybe your team's expecting you to score a lot, rebound a lot, assist a lot. This cognitive load can cause a lot of stress. And finally, and maybe most importantly, the number one source of stress, I think, is the social evaluation that you will get by playing. Your peers are going to judge you. Your opponents are going to judge you. Parents, friends, fans, they're going to judge your performance. And this causes a lot of stress in a lot of players. So what can you do about these stressors? Well, the first thing you need to know is there's a difference between a stress and a challenge, or a threat and a challenge. To the rare person, things like the above that I listed are challenges. They're not threats. The environment, for instance, you get off on overcoming that. We have a mantra in the Full Basketball Brain program that says, any ball, any rim, any net, any gym, I can shoot. You start to program your mind, no matter what you're playing with, you will perform well. And you may not be able to control the game, but you've recreated the game so many times in your practice, in pickup games, because you took pickup games seriously, and while you were mentally visualizing, that you are comfortable letting the game go where it needs to go. You are prepared for whatever the game throws your way. So while it's not controllable, you know you can handle anything that occurs. Now, you can't predict you can play well, but because of all the prep you've put in, you start to expect to play well. You aren't worried about your loss of reputation because you know who you are as a person. Your worth as a human being is in no way related to how you play a dumb game. So you're free to go out there and just let the unconscious and the subconscious pour forth into the game with a silent mind, and you're free from the worry of losing your reputation. You aren't worried about injury because you handle problems as they arise. If that happens to arise, which you don't think it will, then, well, you'll handle it then. You've also trained very well, you're in great shape, and you've done everything possible to protect against injury. The rest is in God's hands, and you'll handle problems as they arise. You don't fear failure. You are exhilarated by risk. You love taking shots. You don't think about makes and misses. You just shoot the ball because you're in the present moment. You have the mentality of a winner, and you've mentally prepared to hit game winners by hitting them in your mind over and over again, and doing it in the gym when you're alone by yourself, recreating the environment mentally as you're shooting around. So when you're shooting around in the gym, I'm imagining there's people in the stands. I'm imagining there's a referee. I'm imagining I'm in my jersey. And furthermore, you kind of get off on the fact that you love pressure when others fear pressure. You love what others don't want to be around. You get some confidence from that. And when it comes to social evaluation, you know that, yes, you're honest with yourself. You would really like people to think you're great, to think you're spectacular, but you don't need it. You would like it, you'd prefer it, but you don't need it. It's a very small distinction that keeps the game a game. It's just a game, so you can have fun. You would love to put on a show for people, to entertain people, to amaze them, to gain their respect. Your opponents, fans, teammates, coaches, scouts, whoever. People on the internet watching you play, Instagram. You would love that. You don't need it. It's a game. So, if you know what causes stress, you don't just reframe it. You actually transform it. You take stress in, and where other people take stress in and they have all these physiological responses to it, fight or flight, you actually get excited. You engage with it. You love the challenge. And a challenge is something you know that's challenging. It's difficult. It's difficult, but you have the resources to handle it. And how do you get the resources to handle stressors? By training your mind, training your body, training your skill set, and also, of course, studying the X's and O's and strategy of the game, all of that. Combine all of that, you have the resources to handle these so-called stressors. Great people look for a challenge in everything. They don't see threats. They just see challenges. And when they're practicing, they're building the resources to comfortably meet those threats as they arise. They actually get excited about it. Growing up, I was always interested in the mental game. After years of study, I developed the Basketball Brain program. My life is devoted to helping others achieve their greatness. I hope you'll like, subscribe, and if you take a chance with the Basketball Brain program, I promise you your game's going to reach levels that you never thought possible.